Shalom, shalom, shalom. This is the brother Kadar Bond, GMS, Mississippi Gulf Coast. I'd like to start by giving our praise, honor, and glory to the Most High Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakah, Kradash. Double honors are given unto the apostle, elders of Great Millstone, men who have labored and suffered in this truth for over 30 plus years, making their lives and their bodies a living sacrifice. I also like to send a shalom to the hopeful elect, the 1/3 of the nation of Israel, the speckled birds scattered throughout the four winds of planet Earth, north, south, east, and west, which consist of men, women, and children. Also, I'd like to send a shalom to the various GMS camps, elders, and heads. Last but not least, I'd like to send a shalom to any of you Akim not named GMS, but walking one body, one spirit in Yahweh Shai, with this 100% truth as it's taught to us all by the apostle, elders of Great Millstone. To you all, shalom. Through the spirit of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, I was just pondering a few things, these blackouts, these scheduled blackouts, and gas, the gas hike, just the downfall of Babylon overall. And through the spirit, I thought about this right here. When it was on June the 12th, 2009, the United States converted from analog to digital television broadcasting. The switch from analog to digital broadcast television is referred to as the digital TV or the DTV transition. And what made me think of that is, how they switching the money over digital, which let you know that Esau Edom doesn't do anything just on a spur of the moment, He sits back and he plans things, That's what he do. He plans. But that through the spirit, them getting ready to switch this, everything over to the digital money system, it made me think of that, and this was made law. As a matter of fact, I'm going to just read a little bit and see if I can find it. Where is it? Well, let me go right here real quick. I mean, you had to get ready. Things are going to be ramped up like the elder apostle, Tahar has said, this is the year of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, turn up. And the Lord is working with those apostle elders. Willing, this is evident. And we see things are being turned up. Just like turning up the temperature on your stove, on your oven. You see things are being turned up. And the everyday Jack and Jill, well, they're not noticing nothing. They don't notice the change in temperature. They don't notice the rampant violence, the turn up and the extreme violence that's being portrayed, being enacted. They're not taking notice to none of these things as a group of people. So, as they getting ready to switch from the FRNs or the fiat currency to the digital currency, everything is going digital. And it made me think about that because when Barack Obama came in office, and I do believe this happened during his administration, they wanted to switch your medical records off paper into digital. So, everything's for a reason. Like I said, the so-called white man, Esau Edom, he does not do anything just off the spur of the moment. Everything is pre-planned, strategic. He thinks he's a master chess player. But the Most High Yahweh is the master puppeteer. Anyway, let me read a little of this. This is digital TV transition in the United States. And it reads, transition in the United States is the switch over from analog to exclusively digital broadcasting of televised terrestrial television programming. According to David Ryer, then president and CEO of National Association of Broadcast, this transition represented the most significant advancement of television technology since color TV was introduced. For full-power TV stations, the transition went into effect on June the 12th, 2009, with stations ending regular programming on their analog signal no longer than 11:59 p.m. local time that day. That is, Under the Digital and Public Safety Act of 2005, full power broadcasting of analog television in the United States was initially planned to have ceased after February 17, 2009 to help U.S. customers through the conversion. The act also established a federally sponsored DTV converter box coupon program. You know what? That almost slipped my mind. They was actually giving away these boxes because they made this conversion law. Just like you have an insurance, They made it law, the law of the land. So they was actually giving away, if you didn't have the means to go buy with those wall mount TVs, flat screen TVs, because they were switching from them bulky TVs to the flat screens, Then they would give you a converter box. They was, as they say right here in this article, they were giving you a converter box. So, it'll be weird when, when they give you something, just like they doing now, they making that jump shot, that vacation, they making that readily available at these Walgreens and CVS's and Walmart's and whatnot. You know where it's going. Anyway, it says the DTV Delay Act changed the mandatory analog cutoff date from to June 12th. Instead of February, it was cutoff date was in June 12th, 2009. Although stations were permitted to cease analog transmission before the new mandatory cutoff date. The legislation was enacted on February the 4th, 2009, and on February the 11th, 2009, U.S. President Barack Obama signed into law. The purpose of the extension was to help the millions of households who had not been able to get their coupons for converters because demands for coupons exceeded the funding provided. So they were paying for this. They were giving it. They had money set aside to buy these converters. The demand for coupons exceeded the funding provided for the initial bill, leaving millions on a waiting list to receive coupons. Funding for extra coupons was provided by the American Recovery and Reinvestment Act of 2009. By midnight on the original cutoff date of February 17, 2009, 641 stations representing 36% of the U.S. full-power broadcasters was transmitting exclusively in digital. Analog broadcasting did not cease entirely following the June 12, 2009 deadline under the provisions of the Short-Term Analog Flash and Emergency Readiness Act. And I made a statement saying that they don't do these things just on the fly, just something randomly they do. They even have names for these, short-term, analog, flash, emergency readiness, American Recovery and Reinvestment Act. Let's go, the DTV Converter Box Coupon Program, the Digital Transition of Public Safety Act. You know what I'm saying? So they're letting you know that these things, they had already sided up and set down, and did they due diligence, It says Mercy Act, approximately 124 power stations briefly maintain analog nightlight service ending no later than July 12, 2009. In a separate category, low-powered television stations were permitted to continue analog broadcasting for several more years. On July the 15th, 2011, the FCC, and that FCC goes into that Federal Communication Commission, and Class A low-powered CA stations, and also broadcast translators, TX, repeaters in rural communities were required to shut down by September the 1st, 2015. On April 24th, 2015, it was announced that the conversion date for standard LP TVs and translators still broadcasting in analog had been suspended until further notice due to economic problems that might have arisen from the then upcoming Spectrum auction. However, Class A low-powered stations were still required to convert by the original deadline date of September the 1st, 2015. And let me go ahead and read the rest of this. 2015. After the auction's completion in 2017, the Federal Communication Commission (FCC) announced on May 17th that all analog low-power stations and transmitters must convert by July the 13th, 2021. The transition was eventually completed by January 10th, 2022. So they just, according to this, they just completed all of that. After the state of Alaska was granted an extension to shut down their analog transmitters after a number of factors impacted their transition to digital television. Yeah. And now they're talking about going to a digital currency. It took them all of about, 09 to now, 11 years? 11, let's see, 2021, 11, 2012 years. Well, point being is they doing this for some reason or another. You got these houses, they got smart houses, smart TVs, smart appliances, They got all of this, they got that thing, Siri, you talk to it and you ask it questions and whatnot. There's a reason they want you to do all this, and I'm not going to be sitting here speculating. We already know that this man wants full, complete, uninterrupted control over all the masses. So, anyway, I'm going to grab a couple precepts and I'm going to get up out of here. Grab a couple of precepts and get up out of here. Let me go to the book of Micah. This is the book of Micah, chapter 2 and verse 1, and it reads, "Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds." This man can't go to sleep without coming, talking about he go to bed thinking of some way to just, to put you in a trick bag. So-called blacks, Latinos, Native American, Israel. They can't rest unless they, they already got a scheme cooked up for you. If it ain't 10 years in advance, if it ain't 5 years in advance, if it ain't 20 years in advance, 30, 40, 50, 60 years in advance. They're not going to rest easy unless, They can come up with some way to keep you in a trick bag. Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it, because it is in the power of their hands. It is in the power of their hands. This is Job 9 and verse 24, and this is an oldie but goodie. Job 9 and 24, and it says, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? If not, who is it? Who is it? Who? If it ain't this so-called white man, because see, certain Israelite camps want to say, I don't know if they still say that, but they want to say, well, I'm not gonna put it on Israelite camps, but I've heard this going around that the Esau Edom is the so-called Arabs and this and that and the third. Them folks ain't ruling the world. They're not ruling the world. It's this so-called white man who's running things. Going back to Micah 2 and it says, verse 2, and they covered fields and take them by violence, and houses and take them away, so they oppress a man and his house, even a man and his heritage. Who became the $5 Indian and then run his lineage back through the woman? Who claimed that the lineage goes through the woman so they get the rights and everything? You follow what I'm saying? And that them Amalekites, some so-called Jewish, and the everyday Edomite, they'll tell you quick, fast, and hurry. I got Cherokee Indian on my mama's side. But my dad is, they go back to Germany and Switzerland and France. See what I'm saying? $5 Indians. And they covered fields and take them by violence, and houses and take them away, so they oppress a man and his house, even a man and his heritage. Therefore, thus says the Lord Yahweh, behold, against this family do I devise an evil. These people sitting up here, getting everything set for the great reset, with these gas hikes, with these engineered locusts and stuff, eating up real food and leaving GMO foods alone. All kind of things are going on, that you hear, running around in the web, and even by the web, they movies, they show you different things. When the average person looking at this as entertainment, these folks are actually putting these things into effect. It just told you that woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it, because it is in the power of their hands. They have the power to do so. Therefore, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, behold, against this family do I devise an evil, from which ye shall not remove your necks, neither shall ye go haughtily, for this time is evil. And the Most High is switching these curses over to these heathens. Yeah, he's switching it. He's switching it over to them. Now, family, grab that real quick. Is it 30? Real quick. This is Deuteronomy 30 and 7, and it reads, and the Lord Yahweh thy power will put all these curses upon thy enemies. And when you go into Deuteronomy 28, and I believe verse 46 through 48 right there, he said he would put, you would serve thy enemies, So the Lord Yahweh is putting these curses on thy enemies. And the Lord thy power, and the Lord Yahweh thy power will put all these curses upon thy enemies and on them that hate thee, which persecute thee, and persecute you. He putting this on them. But you see them getting, they ODing on this fentanyl and opioid and all that crap. Why they were going making war with countries and staying in their lands 20 years so they control poppy fields and all kind of things going on, underhanded thing, and then it comes right back and bite you white folks right in your ass. Yeah, talking to you. Come right back and bite Esau right in his ass. While you digging traps and laying traps and whatnot, you getting caught in your own traps. Most High got a trick bag for you all. Got you all in a trick bag. Anyway, I'm going to end it with this right here. Because 1/3 of the nation of Israel need not fear any of that foolishness. No. I'm going to read it right. I'm going to start at verse 10. This is Ephesians 6 and verse 10. It says, "Finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might. Put on the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil." Because see, these are things that the majority of our people just gonna go along with. They're gonna hike the gas up. They're gonna, they're gonna create food shortages and whatnot. You understand? These things are gonna happen. But it's all prophesied though. So you have comfort in knowing that the Lord had already said that things are gonna be. So you're on the right side of the battlefield if you're practicing the law, statutes, commandments to the best of your ability. You praise and you're worshiping the Most High Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, and you refrain from being in the world. You're on the right team. There's hope. We're prisoners of hope, but hope nevertheless. There's hope. Lord willing, you be chosen. You be already one of those chosen. It says, "Finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might. Put on the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil." All this little slick and cunning things that he's doing, you'll be able to, like I say, through the knowledge and wisdom of the scriptures, you'll be able to withstand that, Lord willing. Calling on the name Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, practicing laws, statutes, commandments, having that belief and that faith, that gift that he's given. Just hold fast to that. Verse 12, it says, For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. Yeah. Because see, I read that article, you see, they had act after act after act for every little scenario. If you didn't have enough money, if you didn't, the funding wasn't straight. They had everything set in place. So these elite bankers, these people who really pull the purse strings of the planet, these folks got all kind of trickery and enchantment and sorceries and all kind of things laid up for you. They got all kind of distractions going on, in the news. You got to be aware of that, And that's and you wrestle not with the flesh and the blood, but with the spiritual, but against the principalities and against powers, against the rulers of darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. And are they not in high places? They call themselves the Illuminati, the illuminated ones, the light bearers of this particular wicked system, and they are. They are. So you have to put on the whole armor of the Most High Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. Hold fast to Him, cleave to Him. You know, you got to cleave on to the Lord Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. You got to cleave on to Him. You know. Wherefore, let's see, verse 13. Wherefore, take unto you the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to withstand in the evil day, and having done all to stand. Stand therefore, having your loins girt about with truth, and having on the breastplate of righteousness, and your feet should with the preparation of the gospel of peace. Above all things, the shield of faith, wherewith ye shall be able to quench all the fiery darts of the wicked. Because it's coming down the pipe, you know, you got wars and rumors of war. You know, you got the digital society coming about, you know, where they're gonna make everything, you know, they're gonna make you the currency. You, the individual, gonna be the currency. You know, that leads to, you know, and take the helmet of salvation and the sword of the Spirit, which is in the word of God. So, you know, we see this place, you know, just crumbling like some old stale bread that's been left out on the counter for 2 months, and you pick it up and it's just breaking pieces, just crumbling. That's exactly what we're seeing, you know, in conjunction with America. And you don't want to crumble with this place. You know, you don't want to crumble with this place. But anyway, through the Spirit, I was just thought I'd bring that out. Lord willing, it was edifying. I'm going to give all praise and honor and glory to the Most High Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua. Double honors to the apostle, elders, great millstone. Shalom.